Hey YouTube. Right, I'm going to be replacing the headlight, the HID bulb in my Jaguar XF. This is a D3S Xenon 35 watt. It's the original light. It's got a 3-year warranty. It's from OSRAM. And the reason I'm changing the light bulb is that I've noticed that this particular light seems to be dimmer than the other side. Now, a couple of years ago, unfortunately a car sideswiped my side of the car, so they replaced the wing and the headlight, and I think they replaced the light bulb and the headlight unit completely. So this is the original one which was fitted with the car back in 2012, and I've noticed, as I say, the light bulb is becoming dimmer. Now, it could be the same problem that I saw with the Freelander 2, where the back of the light reflector had burnt. I'm hoping it's not, but I need to get this light out, and this is a really awkward process to do. So if you've got the older model of the XF, it's a lot easier. This one, I have to go up underneath here, so I'm going to show you how I do that. There's some bolts under here. There's some bolts obviously to take the actual light out itself, 2 at the top, and then there's 1 underneath apparently. And then the real pain is this bumper. So this bumper is actually hooked underneath the light itself, and the only way to physically do this is, one method is to remove the entire bumper cover, which would be really quite a long job. The other is to actually release some of the bolts around it and just give you enough room so that you can slide the light out. So this is the process I'm going to try and attempt now, and I'll take you through the steps to actually replace this new Xenon light bulb, as I've not seen anyone on YouTube actually doing this. So this may be useful for other XF users of this particular new facelift style that's out there. So let me take you through the bolts that I'm going to have to take off to get into the headlight fitment. These are the headlight fitments themselves, and you will notice that I've marked them up with some paint so that I can find the correct position, because I don't want to really try and realign all the headlights back up again. The other bolt that needs to come out is this one down here. This is a plastic clip. So again, that just needs to be undone and then popped up. That bolt as well, or nut, and again the same with that one underneath. And I'm not going to touch this side of the car, because in theory, by releasing this should give me enough flex with inside the arrangements of the light unit itself, and hopefully drop that enough down so that I can get that out. The wiring harness is behind here, and again you have to be careful that when you take the unit out, that you actually don't damage the harness. But you can see there's the harness under there, so I'm hoping once I release it that I'll be able to get to it. The real tricky part, which is the area that's going to be the most problematic, it's going to be under here. So I need to take these 3 nuts off and then bend this back, and I've got some cable ties which I'm going to try and use to cable tie certainly some of this over to here, so it gives me some space to work around. And apparently there is another nut up here under this plastic area which holds on the wing itself. Maybe it's over here, and then there's a nut that holds in the headlight. So all in all, I need to take out all of these particular nuts to start off with. So what you'll see me do now is take the nuts off. This will be done in quick time, because I'm sure you're not that interested in watching me fiddling away with this. And then I'll show you where we've got to after I've taken the various bits off around the car. Right, so I've taken off the bolts and the nuts. So there's the one for, you can see it's now loose. This is loose on here, loose over here, so that should give me the flex. The light is now loose down here and over here. So all I need to do now is go underneath and release this area over here. So that will be the next bit you'll see me do on the video itself. So these are the nuts and bolts that come off it. You can see the plastic one down there, which is that plastic retainer clip. It's a combination of using the 8mm for these ones, which were holding the bumper on, and then the 10mm for the other one. Right, let's go ahead and take these nuts off now. So this is using the 8mm socket. So, pulling these off. I've already taken them off in the past when I was exploring to see how this whole thing was going to work, and they weren't too difficult to get off, but pulling them back was a bit of a pain, so hence why I'm going to use the cable ties to help me with that job in a moment. But it's the three of them just come out. They are hooked a little bit behind the facade of this bit of the bumper itself. And once you've got them out, then it's just a case of separating it away. So let me just pull that out of the way. You can see there's the facade. It's also hooked up under here, which makes it a little bit awkward, but I'm assuming that I can pull that back enough and get underneath and see the rest of the clips. So bear with me while I push that one back. Okay, let me try and cable tie some of these around. So let me just put a cable tie around this side of the wheel to start off with. Give it the wrong way around. Typical. This is where the job gets messy because you get brake dust all over you. Okay, so let's see if I can't attach this one over here. Get the right way around. I really wanted a little bit tighter than that, so see if I can't get that a little bit tighter on the wheel as well. Okay, should give me a bit more space to get underneath and have a look around at what screws are up in and around this area. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's the bolt that's holding the headlight on. Maybe if I give it a little bit more light, that might make it a little bit more obvious. And then above it is the other one that I need to get access to release the sort of front part of the actual bumper itself. So those two need to come out. There's certainly some other clips under here which, you know, may be problematic, but kind of hoping that should be okay. So that's your 10 mil socket to go in for taking the headlight. So I may go for that one first because the one above is a little bit easier, and that's going to be a bit of a pig to get at. So let me try that one first. So this is the only way that I could find to actually do this in the end, using a 10 mil socket spanner, because the socket set just would not work. As you can see, it's a slow process, but I'm sure I'll get there eventually. Let's see if the light's actually a little bit more loose. Feels a little bit more loose. Yeah, you can see as the light waggling, so it's definitely the right bolt, so just need to get that off, and then I need to get the one underneath there as well. Right, so there was one extra screw that I'd missed, this one back here, and then you've got these plastic clips that just pop out, and you can see now that the headlight is now loose. So I'm going to switch cameras. Hopefully this is enough just to pick the lens out. But you can see it's moving nicely, and you can see why it's held in so tightly in that place. So I'm hoping that's good enough. So again, just a quick look underneath here. There was a bolt back here that I just needed to take off. I tried on doing this bolt up here, but this is something to do with the main wing, so I'm putting it back in a minute. And then there was the bolt at the top, and then the rest is as you've seen.